Okay. The next topic is XSD in XML. So why do we go for XSD in XML when we have DTD? So there are some limitations in DTD. Okay. So that is the reason we are moving into XSD. So what are the limitations of DTD? Here just simply explain you in oral. XSD stands for XML schema definition. So this is the language is used in XML schema. Okay. That's why XML schemas are also called as XSDs. Here, the drawbacks of a DTD, first one here, DTD we are not writing in XML. This is a separate thing we are writing, right? Here, this is not in XML, okay. But we are writing XML schema in XML only. Means here we are following XML syntax rules to write XML schema. And limited data types are available in DTD, just like PC data and C data. Okay. But here XML schema supports more number of data types. And XML schemas are used for secure data communication, whereas DTDs will not provide a secure data communication. So well-formed not only enough, we need to validate our XML documents also. So to validate XML document, better we can go with XSDs. So here one basic thing is it supports some data types. Okay, it supports some data types. So we have seen that how do you write a DTD for uh, the given XML document. Now we will see how do you write XSD for the given XML document. And I told you XSD is a language that is completely written in XML. Okay, right. So let me write another file here, the same file. And new, it is an XML file. Just paste it. And delete this. We'll focus on the elements. Okay. But how I'm going to save this one? This is a student xsd.xml. Okay, this is a simple XML document. Okay, and check whether it is well formed. Yes, it is well formed document. Check whether it is valid. Okay, there is no validation is done here. Okay, now we are going to write XSD for this XML file. So go to file, click new, and XSD file with the extension .xsd XML schema. Okay. Come down and XML schema. You can able to see XML schema. It is extension is .xsd, and click on OK. Right. So we can get the defaults. No need to use the attributes over here. The default the attributes come to XSD file. So the first line says that XML prologue. This is saying that this is an XML document. Okay. And in XSD file, the root element is schema. A schema is the root element. Okay. And we are using the namespaces here. XML NS, that is the namespace we are using. And the value, here it is HTTP. No need to So write everything here. If you are typing XSD file in your notepad for validation, we need to type all these things. Okay. But when you are creating XSD file in XML copy editor, two attributes are created automatically. So what are the two attributes? First one, XML NS, and the second one is element form default. Yeah, these are created. Right. Now, we'll discuss XML schema. A schema here. Schema is a root element in every XML schema file. Okay. It may contain some attributes here. Just two attributes are there. First one is XML NS colon XS. That is a namespace. Okay. Your XML NS means XML namespace, and XS is a prefix. So it indicates that whatever the elements and data types are used in this schema, whatever the elements and attributes or data types are used in this document, those are coming from this URI, means this namespace. Okay. It also specifies that the elements and data types come from this XML namespace, okay, with the prefix XS. And we can also use target namespace. Here it is not mentioned. We can use it, target namespace. So here, let me write the target namespace. Target namespace, N must be capital. Namespace is a single word. Single word. You can write any namespace. Let me write www.ramanji.com. Yeah. So what is the use of this target namespace? It indicates that the schema here, the schema, in this schema, we are writing some elements. These elements are defined by using this namespace. Means whatever the elements here we are using, these elements are coming from this namespace. Okay, just this namespace. And element form default, it indicates that any elements used in XML instance, means here this is an XML instance, that part we'll discuss here. All these elements are namespace qualified. All these are namespace qualified. Okay. Now define this XML schema for the given XML file. So here, what is a root element? Here, root element is a class. So elements are created in XML schema by using element tag, and element tag is comes from XS prefix, right? So it means XS colon element is an element that is comes from this instance, this URI. Okay. So element followed by attribute is name of the element. And then what is this complex type? Elements in XML schema are defined in two ways. The two ways are, first one is simple type and another one is complex type. What do you mean by simple type? Elements consist of only the data or content. Here, this ID is an element that consists of the content. Okay. If an element that consists of the content, that is called as a simple type. Okay. And what is a complex type? Element consists of other elements, or elements consists of attributes. Okay. Those comes under the complex type. Okay. So now class is an element that consists of three students information, right? So element contains other elements, we can call it as complex type. So need to define that is a complex type. And the sequence is not mandatory. Anyway, you can define the sequence. Next one here, define the next element in root element. What is the element in root element class is student. Now we are going to define the student element. How we have to define that element? Let's see that part. XS colon element. You can just declare the elements by using XS colon, XS colon element, not dot. Okay. Right. And what is the element name here? Element name is student. Student is an element that consists of other elements. That consists of other elements. So it becomes a complex type. It becomes a complex type. Okay. So let me delete this statement. Then no confusion here. Element student, it is a complex type because it consists of four elements and we are writing these elements in a particular sequence. So we need to mention that this is a complex type. So we can simply type it. Okay. And we need to follow the order so that we can use colon, access colon sequence. Right. Yeah. Give me a minute. So why we are writing sequence? Because it consists of other elements. That is the reason we are writing sequence. Okay. Next one, define the element called ID. We need to define this element ID, and that consists of a text, or we can call it as a number. Okay. So define the element. How do you define it? By using element. Element followed by element, and then the name attribute here. The name equals to ID. Okay. And the next one, type. Okay, what is the type of this ID here? It is, you can use XS colon. We can also use int or number, integer, right? So if you're just using only this numbers, we can use int or integer. Okay, we can use int or integer. Right. So now max occurs, min occurs, note it here. Just closing that element, we can close the element like this. Next, define another element, access colon element. The element name is name, and the type here it is name, student name, and type equals to. Here it is a string type, access colon string, and this is self closing. And define the fourth element, access colon element. Element name is age. We can use type is integer, access colon integer, and access colon element. This is the last element, the student here. The element name is gender, right? And this type is string again. Yeah. Then close this stuff. Close this just element. Okay. Then this is closed. Closing this sequence, closing this complex type, and closing the element, then closing the sequence, closing the complex type, and closing the schema. So let's save this one. So what is the extension for this here? It is XSD file. Let's say here student dot XSD. Student dot XSD. So we have written the rules in XSD file. Now the question is here, how to embed these rules to our XML document? How do you embed this one to our XML. Now, if you want to check whether it is in XML format or not, just check it is well formed or not. Now, DTDs are not in well formed, but XML schemas are in well formed. Okay. Now, yeah, coming to this XML document, we need to include that XSD file here only. Okay. So first in the root element, we need to define it. In the root element, we need to define it. Okay. So your first attribute is XML NS namespace we are creating, and XSI. XSI indicates that XML schema instance. This becoming an instance file for XSD, because XSD are written in some file and you are including the rules to XML file. So it becomes XSI file. XSI means XML schema instance. Yeah, it is also located, yeah, just I'm using this value. It is located in www.w3.org/2001/XML schema instance. And also we need to specify the location of this instance, So the target namespace here it is, this is the target namespace. Okay, and this is the target namespace. We can also use HTTPS like that. Okay, if it is not working, then we will go with that. So target namespace is used to locate where the uh, elements and attributes are there. Okay, right. So now the next attribute we are using here is XSI colon schema location. Schema location. This is the attribute, and the schema location comes with two values. One is the target namespace, that is www dot this target namespace, and the second one is file name. Here, how we save this file is with the student.xsd. These two are separated by using a space. Student.xsd, right? And save this file. Control is, then just check whether it is well formed or not. So it is a well formed document. And now, oh, no need to here, check whether it is valid or not. So we are getting an error at line number 2. No declaration found for the element class. Okay, no declaration found for the element class. Your element name is root element. Let's check whether this is well formed or not. This is well formed, and it is not. It is not at all validated document, and we need to check here only. At line number 2, no declaration found for that element. Mhm. Okay. So it says that this class element is not declared. That is the error we are getting. Okay. Let's see here. We can use the target namespace uh, with some HTTP protocol, HTTP colon slash slash. Okay. Okay. But check it again. And again, the error is coming like that. Okay. And where is the problem? Let me use one more thing, just like students. So yes. No declaration found for the element class. Mhm. Where is the error? At line number 127. Error is at this point only. Okay. Give me a minute. Let me check XML the value. Yes, you are closing the class also. And whether these values are similar or not. Yes. Copy this URL. Yes. Okay. Yes. Again, at line number 4 only. Student dot XSD. Okay. Here the problem is where we are storing this one. XML codes. Better here we are storing these files in a pen drive. Let me copy this one. Control C and in D drive. Let me close this file again. Open the codes, XML codes. This is XSD XML. Open it and XSD file. This is also you can open with this. Okay. Control S. This is the control S. SQL formed and no declaration found. Student.xsd here. We need to specify the path of this file. Check. Namespace location pair does not match. No. Okay, 1 more minute. Give me 1 more minute. Let me stop recording. And there are just few changes in these two documents. It is also need to be created the default namespace. What is the default namespace here? A default namespace is a namespace that without a prefix. Here XML attribute we use it, but there is no prefix for this. Means here it will take the values from default namespace if the target namespace is not mentioned correctly. Okay. Here just used one more attribute as this is default namespace, and the default namespace can be used in this document also. Okay. So only that is a statement we need to add extra one here. So check it is well formed, and so it is following all the syntax rules, and also check whether it is valid or not. It is valid. Okay. Only the extra two statements are here. We need to provide the default namespaces in XSD file as well as in XML file. Okay. So if you want to define the attributes, just we can use attribute name attribute. Okay. Just this is the way we can just create attribute. Okay. For the student, if you want to create attribute for the student, okay, access colon attribute. Okay. And specify the attribute name. Here the attribute name is like department and type access colon string. So we can also close the attribute like this. Okay. So for the department, we need to specify the attribute. Let's check here whether it is well formed or not. It is well formed. And now whether it is well formed, yes, but we are getting another. Okay, element is a complex type because yeah, we are writing the attribute here on right. Now, even if element consists of attributes, attribute is not allowed in a sequence compositor. Okay, only the group choice. Check whether it is working here. Invalid a sequence in complex type definition. Okay, with that we will discuss how do you add the attributes here. Okay, this is just example code for validating your XML file. Okay, only extra lines are added here. We are just writing the default namespaces in these two files. Right. Hope the things are clear.